Oh, doing great, man. Glad to be here. Exciting time. Man, we know football season's getting really close.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, the show is the SIAC sit down.
Okay,
Even though
all right.
we are here at
Okay.
SWAC Media Day,
Yes.
there are 10 matchups between the SIAC and the
you're right.
and the SWAC, and we wanted to talk about some of those. First of all, let's talk about your transition from the SIAC to the SWAC. You know, you had a tough first year,
Yes.
started off well, but it ended up, not going the way I'm sure you wanted to go. Talk about what you learned in that transition.
Now, you're talking about my first season at
Yes,
Miles
yes.
or at A&M?
No, your first one at A&M.
Okay, yes. So going into last season, I actually always had a lot of respect for the SWAC. Always feel like the SWAC has always had really good players, good athletes, good players, and also good coaches. And my opinion didn't change after last season. Just felt like for us, we started out 3-1, but we had some injuries and things like that. And once we had those injuries, we just didn't have the depth to be able to overcome some things that happen in football games. Just kind of a tough first year. Had some games that we had opportunities to win. Had a couple 3-point losses that we were winning and lost in the end. Had one we lost by 7, same thing. We were winning in the fourth quarter. So I feel like as a team, we worked on those things that are going to get us over the hump in some of those close games that we had last season.
Absolutely. And the irony is your first year, Miles, was kind of the same thing. I know it was a transition between coaches.
Yes.
And bringing in your guys, establishing your culture. You had a tough first year, Miles, but you definitely righted the ship.
Yes.
Talk about the way that you feel you have brought in the guys now, even this year, to right the ship in your second year.
Well,
At A&M.
That's one of the things we always try to do is coaches. We want to recruit talented players, but we also want to recruit guys that fit our culture, that are our type of guys. And we feel like, we've done that. We weren't able to do that the first year as far as the entire recruiting class, but, we brought in some guys last year that fit our culture, and we're hoping that by bringing all those guys together, that we gel and mesh, and that puts us where we want to be as far as the football team.
Absolutely. Talking to Sam Shade, Alabama A&M head football coach. Now, talk about the matchups that you have with the SIAC and just what you appreciate about those matchups in general.
Well, we've got Miles. Our first home game, it's the Lewis Cruz Classic, second game of the season. And, the thing about playing Miles is, the one thing I can tell our football team is these guys are not going to come in here just because we're FCS Division I and lay down.
Absolutely.
Because I was there, I know the mentality, I know the thought process. And so, we've got to be ready and prepared for that football game. But they're going to be well coached. Coach Chris Gould is a very good friend of mine. I've been knowing Coach Gould over 30 years. And, he's got a good staff. He's recruited well as far as players. He's been able to get some really good players in there. So, it's going to be a game for us that we're going to have to be prepared, and we're going to have to play 4 quarters.
Yes, we interviewed Coach Gould early in the summer. His interview will be coming out, in fact, today, ironically, this evening on HBCU Game Day. But along with that, talk about his approach. You've known him a long time.
Right.
And talk about his approach, even when they hired him, like it was I wouldn't say out of left field for football people,
right,
but more so one of those things that people didn't know his pedigree and background. Talk about him for a second.
Well, one of the things about Coach Gould, he coached prep school ball for a long time, ran his own program for a long time. And I feel like one of the skills, if he didn't have it when he started it, but he's got it now, is, identifying talent and recruiting talent. Because on the prep school level, I mean, you got to do a really good job of recruiting to get players. So I knew that would help him at Miles. That would give him a leg up on some people, just the fact that he could go out and identify talent, number one, and then be able to recruit and bring it in. So, that's a big deal for him. And, then obviously, I feel like he put together a pretty good staff, and I think that, you know, he's a defensive guy, but I think he's kind of like me. He spends a little time on both sides of the ball and even on special teams. So, you know, it'll be interesting because I think we got a lot of similarities.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are you looking forward to for this upcoming year?
Well, you know, I'm looking, and I told my staff, our team, right now we're looking at Howard. We're looking at Howard. We're basically, that's the first game of the season. It's a primetime game on ABC, national audience. It's the biggest stage. I think it'll be the biggest stage on August 29th when we play, I think, in the country. Us playing Howard over in Atlanta on ABC, primetime. It's going to be big, and, you know, our guys are excited about it, and, you know, we just want to be prepared and ready to go out and play a really good football game.
Absolutely. Coach Shea, thank you for coming on. Hey, you are gracious with your time. Thank you for just taking out some time to talk to the SIAC. Sit down.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.